How did your first child behave after you'd had your second child? Emma was 4 when my son Milo came home from the hospital. I expected the usual stuff, maybe some tantrums, jealousy, crying when I fed the baby, but Emma just got quiet, really quiet. She'd follow me around the house like this little shadow, always watching, but never saying much unless I asked her something directly. I figured she was just taking her time adjusting. Kids process things differently, right? The first real sign something was off came on her 5th birthday. We planned this cute little party, nothing fancy. Balloons in the living room, homemade cake, 3 kids from her daycare coming over. But Emma had one request that seemed weird. Milo can't be downstairs during my party, she said, completely serious. He can watch from upstairs. I laughed it off. Come on. He's just a baby. He'll sit in his bouncy seat, but she kept insisting, getting more upset each time I brushed her off. Finally, I just brought him down anyway because I thought she'd forget about it once her friends arrived. Big mistake. During Happy Birthday, everyone's singing and clapping, and Emma's just staring at Milo in his little seat. Not at the cake, not at her friends, just at him. When it came time to blow out the candles, she didn't move, just stood there frozen. Then she turned around, walked away from the whole party, and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "He can have my birthday. He gets everything else anyway." The room went dead silent. Her friends looked confused. The other parents looked uncomfortable, and I felt this pit in my stomach. After everyone left, I sat her down on her bed with her new toys scattered around. That's when she said something that absolutely floored me. "You replaced me, Mommy. You needed a new baby because I wasn't good enough." I tried explaining that wasn't true, that we had room in our hearts for both of them. All that stuff you're supposed to say, but she just nodded like she was humoring me and went back to playing with her dolls. Over the next few weeks, weird things started happening around the house. Milo's pacifiers would go missing. I'd find them behind the fridge, under the couch, places they couldn't have just fallen. His favorite toy would disappear from his crib and turn up buried in the backyard sandbox. Then diapers started getting flushed down the toilet. Not used ones, clean ones right from the package. Our plumbing backed up twice before I figured out what was happening. Emma never threw fits about any of this. She was calm, helpful even. She'd offered to help look for missing pacifiers, asked if she could help with laundry when I was washing Milo's clothes that mysteriously got dirty. The night that really scared me, I heard whispering through the baby monitor around midnight. I crept upstairs and found Emma standing next to Milo's crib, talking to him in this soft, gentle voice. "If you weren't here, everything would be happy again," she was saying. "Mommy would have time for me. Daddy wouldn't be so tired. We could go to the park without bringing all your stuff." She wasn't being mean or threatening. She sounded like she was explaining something obvious to him, like telling him the sky is blue. The next morning, I called our pediatrician and got a referral to a child psychologist. The first session was just me and the therapist, Dr. Kim, talking about what had been happening. She called it silent displacement syndrome. Emma didn't understand that love could grow to include to kids. In her mind, love was like a pie, and Milo's arrival meant she got a smaller slice. She thought love had been transferred from her to him, not shared between them. The therapy took months. Emma had to learn that feelings could be complicated, that being sad about sharing attention didn't make her bad, that Milo wasn't her enemy. But the real breakthrough came when Dr. Kim pointed out something I hadn't realized. Since Mila was born, Emma and I hadn't spent any solo time together. Everything was family time or me juggling both kids. So, we started having Emma and Mommy afternoons, just us doing whatever she wanted. Sometimes we'd go get ice cream and sit in the car talking. Sometimes we'd paint her nails while Daddy watched Milo. The first time we did this, she was quiet for the whole car ride. Finally, as we were walking into the store, she grabbed my hand and said, "Are you going to tell me about Milo the whole time when I promised it would just be about her?" She smiled for the first time in weeks. It took almost a year, but Emma slowly started acting like herself again. She'd still have moments where she'd get upset about sharing toys or attention, but she stopped hiding Milo's things. She even started reading him stories before bedtime, sitting cross-legged on the floor beside his crib, flipping pages while he babbled and chewed the corners of his blanket. She started giggling again, singing, drawing pictures with 3 stick figures labeled Mommy, Emma, and Milo. Sometimes Daddy made it in there too. One evening, almost a year after it all began, I caught a quiet moment between them. Emma was gently tucking a stuffed bear into Milo's arms while he drifted off to sleep. She whispered, "You're lucky, you know. You got me as your big sister." It hit me then, not just the sweetness of the moment, but the long, painful journey it took to get there. It wasn't just about making space for a new baby. It was about making sure our first baby didn't feel like a draft, something overwritten. Emma hadn't thrown tantrums. She hadn't screamed or cried for attention. She'd quietly unraveled in a way that was easy to miss if you weren't looking hard enough. Looking back, I realized I had underestimated how deeply a 4-year-old could feel grief, confusion, and fear, all masked by silence and a polite smile. But children are not small adults. They're sponges for love, yes, but also for insecurity, for comparison, for change they don't yet have the words to express. Today, Emma is 8 and Milo is 4. They fight like siblings do over who gets the last waffle or which movie to watch. But they also hold hands in parking lots. They make up bedtime songs. Emma insists on helping him with zippers and laces, even when he doesn't want help. And sometimes when she doesn't think I'm listening, she tells him, "I used to think you ruined everything. But you didn't. You just made our family." Louder. And honestly, she's not wrong. My girlfriend said, "It's my body. I'll post what I want." After uploading thirsty pictures to Instagram, I said, "You're right, it is." Then I stopped liking her posts and started liking someone else's. She noticed when her follower count suddenly dropped by 1 and mine. I, 28, male, met my girlfriend, Vanessa, 26, at a friend's birthday party 2 years ago. She was beautiful, funny, seemed down to earth. Her Instagram back then was normal. Friends, food, travel pics, maybe 800 followers. We hit it off, started dating, fell in love, or so I thought. About 6 months ago, something shifted. She discovered fitness influencing, started posting gym selfies, which was cool. I was supportive. Then the post got more strategic. Yoga pants, angled just right, sports bras getting smaller, progress pics that focus more on curves than muscle definition. Her follower count climbed 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. The dopamine hit was real. She'd refresh constantly, obsessing over likes, comments, DMs. She'd quickly swipe away when I was near. Last month, she crossed a line, posted a bathroom mirror selfie in a thong bikini with the caption, "Feeling myself." The comments were exactly what you'd expect. Eggplants, fire emojis, DM me from random dudes. Me, babe. Don't you think that's a bit much? What's too much? It's a bikini pic in our bathroom. Basically just underwear with that caption. So, it's my body. I'll post what I want. If you're insecure, that's your problem. Me, I'm not insecure. I'm uncomfortable with my girlfriend thirst trapping for strangers. Thirst trapping. I'm building my brand. This is my career. You work at Target for now. Once I hit 50,000, brands will pay me thousands for posts. You're at 12,000 because you don't support me. You never share my posts. Your friends could be following me. I'd actually been her biggest supporter. Took half her photos, liked every post, defended her to my boys when they said she was moving weird online. But that conversation that hit different. Me. You're right. It is your body. Post whatever you want. Vanessa. Thank you. See, was that so hard? That night, I unfollowed her. Didn't block. Didn't make a scene. Just clicked unfollow. She had 12,847 followers. Now 12,846. Then I did something petty. My co-worker Priya 25F had started a food blog. Actual quality content. Recipes, restaurant reviews, cooking tips, maybe. 200 followers. I followed her, liked her recent posts, commented genuine feedback on her butter chicken recipe. Took Vanessa exactly 3 hours to notice. Update 1. The meltdown PM that same night. I'm gaming when Vanessa storms in. Vanessa, why did you unfollow me? Me? You said it's your body. Post what you want. So, I decided what I want to follow. That's different. You're my boyfriend. So you have to follow me. How does it look if my own boyfriend doesn't follow me? Like, I have boundaries. She lost it. Full meltdown. Crying about how I was sabotaging her career. How one follower might not seem like much, but engagement pods notice these things. Had no idea what an engagement pod was. Didn't care. And who's Priya? Co-worker. Why are you liking her posts? Me? They're interesting. She posted a recipe for homemade naan. Vanessa, You don't even cook. Maybe I'll start. The next morning, she changed her strategy, posted a selfie in my hoodie with the caption, "Stealing his clothes because he's the best boyfriend ever, except I don't use Instagram much." Had maybe 50 followers. Mostly family and close friends. The tag was pointless. She knew this. It was performative. Her followers ate it up though. Couple goals. He's so lucky. Where do I find a man like this? Then she started deeming me the comments. Screenshots of women saying I must be amazing. How lucky she was. Transparent manipulation. Me. Cool. That's it. Cool. What do you want me to say? Maybe thank me for the shout out. I just gave you exposure to 13,000 people. I didn't ask for exposure. That afternoon, she escalated, posted a thirst trap with the caption, "Since someone's being moody today, single life." Just kidding. Or am I? The comments went wild. Trouble in paradise. His lost babe. I treat you right. My phone blew up. Friends asking if we broke up. My mom called concerned. My sister said tint. But I stuck to the plan. Didn't react. Didn't refollow. Instead, I commented on Priya's new post about meal prepping. "This is really helpful. Thanks." Vanessa saw it within minutes. Update 2 going nuclear. Over the next week, Vanessa's behavior spiraled. The posts got more provocative. Gym videos focused on squats, beach throwbacks and increasingly tiny bikinis. Glow-up posts comparing old photos to new ones where she was basically naked. Her follower count jumped to 15K. The comment section became a cesspool. Dudes shooting their shot, other women hyping her up for doing you queen, and constant passive-aggressive captions about knowing your worth and not needing validation from anyone. Meanwhile, I lived my normal life, went to work, hit the gym, hung with friends, and yes, interacted normally on social media, which meant occasionally liking Priya's food content and my other friends' posts. Then, Vanessa made a fatal error. She went through my phone while I was sleeping, woke up to her standing over me holding my phone. "Vanessa, you've been messaging her." "Who? Priya?" I saw the DMs about her tandoori chicken recipe. I asked for the spice list. "It's cheating." Asking about garam masala is cheating, emotional cheating. You're giving her the attention you should give me. You have 15,000 people giving you attention. That's different. They're building my platform and Priya's building hers with actual content. That sent her over the edge. She started screaming about how I was probably sleeping with Priya, how I was intimidated by her success, how I couldn't handle a boss babe who knew her worth. Me. "You went through my phone, Vanessa, because you're acting suspicious." Me. "Pack your stuff." What? Me. "You violated my privacy. We're done. You have a week to move out." She didn't believe me at first, laughed, said I was being dramatic. Then she saw my face. "You're serious?" Dead serious. Over Instagram, over trust, over respect, over you going through my phone because I like someone else's butter chicken recipe. The waterworks started, but not real tears. The kind she'd perfected for her vulnerable posts, talking about how she was just scared of losing me, how the pressure of building her brand was getting to her, how she needed my support. Me. "You have 15,000 supporters. You'll be fine." Update 3. The smear campaign. Vanessa didn't take the breakup well. Within an hour, she posted a crying selfie. Still looked perfect, of course. Carefully smudged mascara. Caption: "When you find out the person you trusted most has been lying to you. Chash heartbroken truth hurts." The sympathy poured in. What happened? "Babe, men are trash. You deserve better, queen." Then she went live. I watched from my couch as she told 2,000 viewers how I'd been emotionally cheating with a coworker, how I was threatened by her success, how I tried to control her content because I was insecure. But she made a mistake. Someone asked for details about the cheating and she said I'd been secretly messaging another woman about meeting up. One of her viewers screenshotted Priya's public post. The tandoori chicken recipe I'd asked about, posted it in the comments. "This what are mad about a recipe." Suddenly the narrative shifted. Comments like "Wait, he asked about chicken" and "Bestie, this is embarrassing" started appearing. Vanessa panicked, ended the live, deleted it, but the internet remembers everything. Meanwhile, Priya had no idea what was happening until her food blog started getting weird comments. Vanessa's followers had found her, some supportive. "His ex seems crazy. Your recipes look great, others not. Home wrecker. Hope your curry was worth it." Priya texted me, Why are people calling me a home wrecker under my palette painter post? I explained everything. She was mortified but also found it hilarious. Priya, she's mad about tandoori chicken questions. Apparently, that's the weirdest reason I've ever been called a home wrecker. I'm putting it on my resume. But Vanessa wasn't done. She started posting glow-up content, new hair, new barely their outfits, captions about upgrading and knowing what I bring to the table. Follower count hit 18,000. Then she started posting with other guys, random dudes at the gym, coffee dates, with mysterious men, always tagged at expensive places I knew she couldn't afford. One of my boys, Jake, recognized one of the guys, a local photographer who shoots models for their portfolios, charges them hundreds for thirst trap photos. Vanessa was literally paying someone to pretend to date her for content. Update 4. The downfall. 3 weeks after the breakup, Vanessa's carefully curated image started cracking. First, she got called out by a bigger influencer. Seems she'd been stealing captions and borrowing content ideas. The influencer posted side-by-side comparisons, identical poses, nearly identical captions posted days after the original. Her comment section turned into a bloodbath. Then the FTC entered the chat. Remember those brands she was so sure would pay her? Turns out she'd been posting ads for products she'd never been paid for, hoping to manifest partnerships. That's illegal. Someone reported her, but the real downfall came from an unexpected source, her actual job. Her target manager followed her Instagram after she kept asking co-workers to support her journey. Manager saw the increasingly risque content, the fake sick days that lined up with beach photos, and the post where she called her job just a stepping stone until my real career takes off. She got fired, posted about it immediately, trying to spin it as choosing to pursue my passion full-time, except bills don't care about your passion. Rent was due, car payment was late, the designer clothes she'd been buying for content, credit cards maxed. She tried to monetize desperately. OnlyFans link in bio lasted 3 days before she deleted it, shilling random supplements, posting Cash App for coffee. No one sent anything. Even tried selling her preset filters for $50. Zero sales. Meanwhile, I'd moved on, started actually cooking. Funny enough, Priya's recipes were good, and it turned out I enjoyed it. Posted a few attempts on my barely used Instagram. Nothing fancy. Just tried making dinner. Didn't burn down the kitchen. Vanessa saw because of course she stalked my page. The final straw was when she made a TikTok about toxic EXes who move on to fast. Used photos of us she'd cropped me out of. Told a completely fictional version where I'd been controlling and jealous of her success. Problem? My sister saw it. My sister, who's a paralegal and takes no prisoners. She compiled every contradicting post Vanessa had made. The crying about tandoori chicken, the admission she went through my phone, the fake brand deals, everything. Posted it as a response video. It went mini viral. When your brother's ex tries to rewrite history but forgot the internet is forever. Last I heard from mutual friends, she moved back with her parents. Follower count tanked to 8,000 and dropping. Trying to rebrand as a mental health advocate. Still, posts thirst traps but engagement is dead. Works at a different retail store. Doesn't mention it online. DM'd me last month asking if we could talk about us. I didn't respond, but I did make a pretty solid chicken tikka masala last week. Posted it. Got 47 likes from my friends and family who actually know me. Priya commented, "Hey, that's my recipe. Looks perfect." It was final update. 6 months later. Life's funny sometimes. 6 months after the great tandoori chicken incident of 2024, things have settled into something I barely recognize from the chaos. Vanessa tried one last time to get my attention. Showed up at my apartment with a box of my stuff, things I'd never owned, clearly bought from Goodwill. An obvious excuse to talk. I've been doing a lot of growing. Cool. I realize I let social media get to my head. Okay, I miss us. What we had. Before all this, we can't go back. But I've changed. I deleted Instagram. You literally posted a story 2 hours ago. She'd forgotten about close friend stories. The deleted Instagram was just her main feed. She still had for backup accounts, a TikTok, and was trying to make it on something called Lemonade. That's different. That's just for close friends. All 6,000 of them. She left crying. Posted about it naturally. Hardest conversation of my life. But I needed closure. A growth journey. As for me, Life's simple and good. Still cooking. Gotten pretty decent at it. Indian food's become my specialty, which my mom finds hilarious since we're Italian. Started dating someone new. Met her at a bookstore of all places. Emma's a nurse. Doesn't have Instagram. Thinks influencers are weird but harmless, like people who collect stamps. She tried my lamb biryani last week and said it was better than the restaurant we'd been ordering from. Might be love. The plot twist. Pri and I became actual friends. She's dating someone too, a guy she met at a cooking class I recommended. We all do dinner sometimes. Normal stuff. No phones out. No content creation. Just food and conversation. Saw Vanessa at the grocery store last week. She was taking selfies with the produce trying to look candid. Had her tripod set up and everything. The store manager asked her to stop. She left without buying anything. Her Instagram. Checked it out of curiosity. 5K followers now. Lots of motivational quotes about rising above and knowing your worth. Still posts thirst traps, but calls them self-love affirmations. Comments are mostly bots and dudes named Gary asking her to DM them. The lesson. When someone tells you, "It's my body, I'll post what I want," believe them. They're telling you. Their priorities, your comfort, your boundaries, your relationship, all secondary to the dopamine hit of strangers. Validation. And if they get mad because you like someone's chicken recipe, run fast, run far, and maybe learn to cook while you're at it. Thanks for reading this whole saga. Going to make some garlic naan now. Priya's recipe, of course.